Hi Taurus, welcome to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth and I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. Welcome back to my channel, Taurus. This is your September love reading and I'm going to draw 6 cards initially, and it's based on the first 6 spheres of the Tree of Life. I developed this reading for you guys last month and they were extremely popular, so thank you very much. I've already meditated. Tiny obviously joined me in meditation, that's why he's still sleeping here, and I've already shuffled the cards before I started the reading. Okay, I'll tell you what each of the cards, the meaning of each of the cards is as we go, and I might even include some astrology in here as well. I will also say that I'm very much connected to the moon at the moment, so for those people who know their moon signs, I would highly recommend you having a look at the video for your moon sign as well. Okay, let's get started. This is your first card, and this is the first card. This is your overall energy or focus for the month of September, and that, Taurus, is the Two of Swords. I've had that in a few other readings actually. You're the first earth sign I'm doing. I've done water and I've done fire, and I've had that a couple of times as their focus as well. So some of you may be dealing with a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or an Aries, Leo, Sag, even though this card obviously corresponds with energy. The next card out for you guys is this card here. This is what or who you could encounter or experience this month. This is a very significant card for you. This is your perspective or your past, your recent past. Okay, I always leave the cards face down because I don't like to get distracted by the energy as I do read intuitively, but this is a very significant card, your past. This card here is not the one that I need right now. This card here is your love potential or love lesson for the month of September. So that's potentially who's coming toward you, what or who you might encounter. This is, I still don't know what that card is actually, but I'll tell you in a second. There's 2 more cards that want to come out. This is your challenge card. I'm gonna have to move that. And this is your advice. Okay, so this card wants to come out, so I'll leave it there and I'll use it to clarify as and when I'll know when it wants to come out. There's a few more cards actually. The readings have been pretty intuitive. There's a lot going on this month, it seems, so the readings are coming out actually really good. Okay, Taurus, so the first card that you have out, which is your focus, your overall focus and energy for this month, and that is a Two of Swords. Now the interesting thing about this card is it does have the Two of Swords has a pretty wretched, shall we say, reputation to nowadays, you know, in the collective consciousness. When we talk, you know, when us tarot readers talk about this card, it's air energy, so it's related, as I said, to the air signs Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's related to your consciousness, your thoughts, your communication. This is twos are a number of partnerships, duality, choices, diplomacy, i.e. being diplomatic, keeping the peace, etc. So this is sometimes when we do not make a decision, or we don't come to a decision to kind of keep the peace, or because we are we're struggling to have mental clarity and to apply logic to decisions. Really, this is a card of trust. There's something, Taurus, that there's a decision that you want to make. There's a direction that you want to go in. There's a commitment that you want to make, and it's something that you are uncertain of the outcome. You know, this month the universe is saying to you that it's for you to recognize that the uncertainty, the reluctance to make a decision is really based on something that's intuitive, that you can't really quite understand, maybe related to past life energies for some of you. We'll have a look when we get to this card. This card will hopefully explain that. This is your next card here, Taurus. This card is related to what or who you could encounter in the month of September. Okay, and that card is the Chariot card. It's number 7 in the major arcana. So number 7s are related to challenges that we must overcome. They're related to they are actually quite action orientated masculine cards, masculine energy, so that's taking action, moving forward is the number 7. So it's really about facing challenges, overcoming challenges, mysticism, mysticism, you know, mysticism. It's related to it's related to Saturn as well, obviously, and you know, that is about our foundations and our structures, things being challenged, things being having to overcome challenges, having to overcome barriers, and this is really a card of victory. So this is saying that you're victorious in overcoming challenges. So I really feel that for you guys this month, in love, Taurus, that you're able to overcome this Two of Swords, and you're able actually to make a decision and move forward in a more balanced way, to start on to begin new understandings. Really, look at that, what I've just said. That look at that 111. So you know, obviously there are new opportunities that you're going toward this month. There's a card, one of the cards here, it's this one here. This is related to this card here, Justice. This is related to Chariot. This is one that wanted to come out for you. So this is actually saying, yeah, you do make a decision and you are victorious in that decision. It's one that's balanced. I think that the Two of Swords is suggestive of not a fear of making a decision, but it's something that you don't understand. So you're feeling something that you maybe haven't experienced before, or thinking something that you haven't experienced before. You know, some of you may be in a soulmate sort of situation where you're in separation, or where you've met somebody for the first time, if you're dating, for example, or if you're in a relationship that's committed. Either way, you're feeling things that you haven't really felt before, you're experiencing things that you haven't really felt before, and you're wanting to go toward this person potentially, or wanting to pull away from that person and not really understanding why. And this month is about making that decision and really being strong and firm in that. This is going to explain. I really feel like there's the soulmate connection, soulmate union, past life energy, involved in the cycle that you're currently involved in, Taurus. I think that's evident for some of us. There's another 2 here. This is your past, where you're coming from. Again, another 2. Again, another commitment. Again, a potential for a new beginning. It's 1-1. It's got, you know, new opportunities. So this is about really the potential to go in a new direction, to bridge that gap between what it is you're feeling inspired to do and actually being able to take the action to move forward, to get to hold that in your hand, to go toward the thing that you are inspired to go towards, even though you don't understand why you want to move in that direction. I think that the crossed arms of the figure on the Two of Swords is really for you an indication that there's, you know, we really haven't been looking, you really haven't been focusing on, not focusing, that's not the right word. It's not as if you've ignored your intuition. You maybe haven't taken it into account before, but it's as if it's building within you this passion, this fire, this anticipation, this want, this will to have something, to move in a specific direction, whether that's towards somebody or away from somebody. Either way, this card is a really clear indication that you're going to start to bridge that gap between, or in the past, I suppose this is your past, or this is the perspective where you're coming from. So not necessarily your past, this could just be where you stand today and how you see things. That's why I call it your perspective. It's related to Binah on the Tree of Life. That's understanding, and that's passive energy or feminine energy. And that's about recognizing how you feel, recognizing understanding how you feel, getting in touch with what's within you, your inner wisdom, your inner knowing. And I feel like in the past or currently now, where you're going, what you're sort of feeling and thinking, and what's sort of motivating you is this want, this will, this, as I said, this inspiration that you don't quite understand why you want to move in a specific direction, whether it's towards someone or away from someone. You don't understand that, but there's energy, that energy is building, that energy, that want. This is going to clarify this card for you, and this is why you have been stuck. You've been stuck in this sword energy, in this eight of so this is in the past. As I said, it's clarifying this third card for you. This is you being stuck now in your mind, being trapped. This is the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords, again, sword energy, our minds, our thoughts, our communication, our consciousness. Number 8 are related to the number of karma, the karmic number 8. And, you know, I've been doing some, you know me, I think you know me by now. I like my reading. I like to read my old books about such things. And I was looking into, you know, the history of some of the symbols that we use to represent the planets and numbers and etc. And it dawned on me that, and these symbols are created in ancient Egypt, the hieroglyphs basically. And anyway, the number 8 is really this link between our higher consciousness, our soul, if you will, and our physical experiences, or our lower experiences, or our ego, and the experiences of our ego. And karmic cycles are really about the going through experiences in order that you can heal them, in order that you can gain understanding and harmony and balance between your physical experience, you know, on this planet, on this earth, in this universe, and your higher self, your soul self. And so really in this situation, this is saying that you've been within a cycle, and one that it's not the first time you've experienced it when it comes to love, you know, making a decision or making the taking the action to move towards a relationship, or the type of commitment that you want. This has been something that has plagued you. It's plaguing you. It's been plaguing you in the past, and it's plagued you multiple times in your life. And it's as if this is something that you do. You feel a certain way, don't understand the strength of those feelings, or don't understand why you have this inclination to move toward or to move away from someone. And what you do is the fear keeps you stuck. So instead of taking action toward a relationship, or going toward the things that you want, or moving away from the things that you want, and it depends on who you are, you get stuck and you get wrapped up in fear, and you get wrapped up in thinking about, you know, why do I feel like this? You know, what does this mean? And, you know, does he really like me, or does she really like me, or, you know, is she really the one, or is he really the one, or and that just leaves you stuck. The thinking, you sort of get yourself wrapped up in a sort of, well, like here, it ties you up, you know, and you're unable to move, and you're unable to make a decision. And, you know, I feel like that's something that you've been experiencing. So as I said, some of you may be going through some sort of soulmate. This card wants to come out next. Some soulmate energies, or you might have been in separation, or you might have just met somebody. And, you know, I would say to try to recognize your thought patterns and how you usually respond in relationships, or when you want to break up with somebody, or whatever your specific situation is. How do you usually respond to that? Be mindful of it. Try to remember that feeling. Try to recognize the things that you're doing similarly in your mind, in your thoughts now, to what you've done in the past. And try to realize that if you're inspired to move in a specific direction, sometimes it is illogical. You know, I'm not saying you meet someone, you go on a date, and you should propose to them, you know, because you've fallen madly in love with them, or because you're so attracted to them. I'm just saying that, you know, sometimes we don't know why we're we want to be close to someone, and or we want to get away from someone, and it's about recognizing, you trying to recognize why that is. I feel like we're going to see the Two of Cups actually, but this is your number 4 is your love potential or your love lesson for the month of September. And what a lovely card to have. You know, you've got here the 4 of Wands, that is. Fours are about our foundations, our structures, those things in our lives. It's related to also Venus, the planet of Venus. And this is lovely because obviously it's about love, it's about security. You know, again, the things that you're inspired to move to go toward can actually provide you with this security. The things that as I said, even if you don't understand, sometimes love at first sight is a thing, and you know, or you know, even if you're in a relationship that you've been in for 8 years, and then suddenly you know, you're used to that relationship and you enjoy that relationship, but actually you do meet someone new starts at work, or you know, you meet somebody on the bus or walking the dog, and for some reason you feel really connected to this person. Now, I'm not saying, you know, leave your husband, leave your wife and go toward that person, but it's about trying to understand what that feeling is, where it comes from, because the things that you're inspired to do can provide you with security. You can have the happiness and the security and the love really that you want. I feel like this card wants to come out next. You know, this is I feel like this is going to clarify this, and I feel like this is saying to you, Taurus, that you have to be strong to go toward the things that it is you want to do. You have to have courage to move toward this four of Wands. You know, it's available to you. You know, regardless if you feel, I feel like the Two of Cups is somewhere. I don't know why I feel like that, but anyway, I feel like this. I just feel like it's a soulmate union. You know, some of you could be dating a fire sign, an Aries, a Leo, or Sag. Obviously, this is Leo's card as well. We've got quite a lot of fire here, and obviously, this is this is your love potential for the month. So the month, it could be the love potential for a fire sign, but it doesn't necessarily mean a fire sign. That's why I like to say potential or lesson, because this is saying this is what you can learn about your love karma this month, or this is what you could experience this month if you take the advice from Kether, from Supreme Crown, from Key, from this first emanation on the Tree of Life. This is universal energy saying this is what you need to do. If you focus on making a decision, if you focus on being decisive, if you focus on taking action toward the things that you want to do, then you can have this level of security in a really passionate, you know, in a relationship that you're really passionate about with a person that you're very passionate about. I feel like for some of you, this is, you know, really where you, you know, where you are. And I like to, what I say about this card, you know, I had a comment on one of the videos. I can't remember which zodiac sign it was in August, and you know, the lady said, she said, you know, every single tarot reader has been saying for months what you've just said in this video, you know, and it's never happens for me. Why do these things never happen for me? And I gave her you know, I always like to give advice in my comments, and I gave her a bit of advice, and I said, listen, I said, try that, or I said to her, you're experiencing, I said, what you're going through is not, you're going through death, you're experiencing the Ten of Swords, and I said, you know, this is an opening now. I said, you've got the opportunity. I said, what you should do is lie down on the kitchen floor. And I said, listen, I know that sounds crazy. I said, it sounds silly, but I said, if you feel like that, if you're completely giving up, you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Nothing's working out for me. No matter how much I'm trying, I'm putting all the work in, I'm putting all the energy, I'm putting all the effort in. I'm not getting nothing back. You know, I've just had enough. I'm fed up. You know, I'm frustrated now. I've had enough. Ten of Swords. You know, what do? Well, lie on the kitchen floor. I said, and stay there. I said, and I'd use, as I said, I always use my own experience. That's what I do. It's true. And you lie on the kitchen floor or whatever. And you feel all the hurt, and you go through all the pain, and you think all the times that you got betrayed, or you got cheated on, or you got lied to, or someone hurt you, or you tried and they didn't. And you can stay there for as long as you want. You can lie there for as long as you want. But eventually, you're going to have to get up. And what is it that's going to get you up? What is it that moves you to get up? What is it that you're choosing to do? Are you choosing? You can stay there, metaphorically speaking. Not on the kitchen floor, you'd cause too much traffic. But you know what I'm saying. You know, you can stay there. You can stay there going, you know, my life's a mess. Everyone's hurt me. Everyone's been horrible to me. You know, I don't have any hope left. I don't have any faith left. I don't have anything good to go towards. What's going on with my life, blah, etc., etc. You can stay there, and you can, and some people live in this energy forever. They'll stay there. The mum was horrible. The dad was horrible. You know, they don't have any nice friends. Their family hates them. They don't have enough money. They're not clever enough. They never had the opportunities. Some people will literally stay there forever. But others of us, we get up off the kitchen floor and we say, listen, I do not know why this has happened to me. And I do not know how it hurts so much or how I'm going to overcome this. But I'm going to have to stand up. I'm going to have to stand up. I'm going to have to choose something different. And that's what this 10 of Swords is. That's what it represents. And for you, it's like you've got to make a choice. You've got to choose to do something different. The universe is advising that for you this month, Taurus, okay? Your next card here is your challenge for this month. So really, that's probably your challenge. Look at this. What a challenge to have. I mean, quite honestly, if these are your challenges, well, excuse me, let me do it that way around. This is your love lesson or love potential for the month. And this is your challenge for the month. So your challenge for the month, and I feel that the what is challenging for you, there's another card that wants to come out. I feel like what is challenging for you is that this is something that you really, really want. But you're just afraid of. You're afraid of really maybe feeling, you know, this way, or, you know, giving up your what you may perceive as giving up your power, you know. And really, for love, we must do that. But look, this is what we need to do. You know, I think for some of you, that's what you're afraid of. You're being challenged by thinking that this relationship, this person, is really what in my heart, if I let myself, in my heart, I know that is what I want. That is the person that I want. But that scares, I'm going to swear now, scares the shit out of you. It really does. It just scares you that. Excuse me. Excuse me. Woo! Obviously, that's resonating for somebody. Excuse me. It scares you. And the universe is saying to you, you're scared of this, you know, this abundance, this joy, this happiness, this connection, this passion, this love, potentially, that you're feeling. And it might feel strange to use that word love with someone that you've just met, or someone that you've not known for very long, or if you're in a relationship with one person and you love somebody else, you know, you think, well, isn't that a strange word to use? Why should we be using the word love? But I really feel like, you know, I think that we as you know, as intelligent, logical human beings have really, you know, have really sort of clouded what love is. You know, love is a choice. Love is a connection between two people, and it's choosing, those two people choosing to acknowledge that. It's feeling something, you know, when you love somebody. And it's recognizing that you feel a connection with somebody. You don't understand what that connection is, and I think we attach all sorts of different labels to it sometimes. But if both parties can acknowledge that there is feelings, that there are feelings, then that opens up a new language for both of you. And I feel like that's something that's scaring you. This is what's challenging you. This taking this leap of faith, this new beginning, is what's challenging you. But there's nothing. There's nothing. It's not the Two of Cups. There's nothing. Nothing will be gained. All you'll stay is stuck if you don't choose to take these. You know, you go from the 8 of Swords to the Ten of Swords. So I feel like there's progress this month. But, you know, again, it's for you to take action, take control, bridge that gap between how I'm feeling and where I want to get to. So you've got to start bridge that gap between those two things to get to your Four of Wands. Your last card is your advice or how to achieve balance. Well, look at this. You know, I was saying before, you know, I feel like it's a soulmate union. I feel like it's that type of energy. I don't know why I just needed to do that, but I did. Excuse me. I feel like it's a soulmate union. I feel like it's that type of energy between you, Taurus, and somebody else, whether you're in separation or not, which potentially, because we've got these decisions, we've got these cards here that kind of potentially, and obviously your arms are crossed in the 9. But this is your advice, and this is about a card of healing, and it's also a card of trust, isn't it? The Star card. It is card number 17. So it's a number 1, and it's number 7. So it's a new beginning that might challenge you with the card with numbers 1 and 7. But number 8, again, karmic cycles, you know, that union between our higher selves and our lower egos and our lower experiences. So and low is not a negative, it's just the opposite of higher. So it's not a negative, it's just the opposite. And you know, with the Star card, this is really saying that, you know, this situation that you find yourself in is something that is destined. So whether you're in separation with somebody and you're wanting to be with that person, excuse me, this is something that is actually literally being orchestrated by the universe. It seems harsh whenever we see some of these excuse me, energies like the 10 of Swords or the 8 of Swords. But the beautiful thing about this is that the universe is with you, got your back. You know, you've got the Star card and you've got the Chariot. You know, you've also got the Fool, which is that the beginning of the beginning of something, before the beginning, actually. You know, this is you deciding that something needs to change. That's what the Fool is. This is you deciding that you need to go in a different direction, or realizing that you need to go in a different direction. That's what the Fool represents with that 0. It's that realization that something new needs to happen. You need to take a different direction. You need to take this step. You need to move towards something, whatever that is. And I feel like, you know, maybe potentially, Taurus, you're feeling like this energy of the King of Cups, which is the energy is running deep, the love, the romance, the feeling, the emotion is quite deep there. And maybe that's something that you're reluctant to acknowledge or reluctant to move towards. And this could be vice versa. Everything I've said could be related to the other person or vice versa. Okay, so you just apply it as it sits with you. So I think, Taurus, that for the month of September, you know, really what you need to be, this is what you need to do. I mean, I don't know who you're dating, and it could be anyone. It doesn't have to be what I've said here. It could be absolutely anyone. But this is what the universe is saying to you. The advice from the universe, as I said, the first emanation on the Tree of Life is the supreme crown, or Kether, and that is the divine. That's divine energy, basically. And the universe is saying you've got to be decisive. You've got to make a decision, you know, and you've got to. There's a fear, there's a gap, there's a space between, you know, where you are now and where you want to be, obviously. But I just feel like I just don't feel like you feel right now that your stride is long enough to reach. Like, I just don't feel like you feel like you're brave enough to take that step. You know, you're like, oh, I can't. You can. Okay, I hope you enjoyed your reading, my fabulous Tauruses. Excuse me. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of September. So if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I'm also going to be putting out an additional video with all the readings on Wednesday, which is going to look at September astrology and additional energies, and also some announcements. I am going to be doing additional readings on the channel from September, and I want you all to I've also been asked about free readings, excuse me, so I'm going to be addressing that in that video as well. So please check that out. I'll probably link it here somewhere. So please check that video out. Also, private readings, I'm streamlining them, but anyway, I'll put that on the other video. So yeah, check that other video out. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, Key Wisdom Tarot. Have a wonderful September, Taurus. If you haven't already, check out your bi-weekly reading. It runs to the 11th of September. And I will see you all next week with your next general readings. Okay, my loves, take care. Bye.